The Cartesian distinction between matter and force might have enabled scientists of previous centuries to progress in their scientific pursuits, but it has actually been a disaster for a modern human's mental health. We all have this general notion deep inside us that matter and force is entirely separate. But if you actually understand the reality of this universe, it is clear that the matter is just a product of the force. The force, the invisible field of energy, is the sole governing agent of the matter. You, I, this cloth, everything that you can perceive through your five senses is matter, is material. But there is an invisible source of energy that governs all these material things that you can perceive through your five senses. In fact, a very reputed scientific journal has already declared that this universe is entirely spiritual. What that means is what you call this universe as a material universe is a flaw in your perception. Because if you take an atom and you try to study that atom, you will find that 99.9999% of that atom is energy and information. Only 0.00001% of that atom is matter. And even that matter is governed by that 99.99999% of the energy. So, right now, if you're currently struggling with mental health issues and panic attacks and anxiety, that's a problem in matter. That's a problem in your body, your heart palpitating, sweating from your face, not in your stomach, not in your neck, and all of your physical symptoms. That's a problem in your matter. But I've already told you, the sole governing agent of matter is energy, or mind, or spirit. So if you learn how to upgrade your state of mind, then all of your physical symptoms must disappear. Now, you need to completely deny the Cartesian distinction between mind and body, between matter and force. Now is the time to realize that the sole governing agent of your body is your mind. This is also the reason why yogis have been calling this physical reality of ours as Maya. Maya means illusion or a magical lie. It is a magical lie because it is just projected from your subconscious mind. Your physical body, everything in your physical world is an extension of your subconscious mind. If bad programs are present in your subconscious mind, your body's health will be bad. You'll be attracting all sorts of terrible circumstances towards you. And it's obvious that your subconscious mind has bad programs since you're struggling with panic attacks. And it's not even your fault, because when a child is born and he reaches the age of 8 or 9, that child is producing theta waves in his brain. When a brain is producing theta waves, that brain is very suggestible, very hypnotizable. At this age, a child learns and absorbs all sorts of emotional pattern, all sorts of limiting belief, all sorts of thought patterns from his family, from his schooling, from his society. Then he grows up to become a member of the society. Of course, that child is going to be sick because the society is sick and he received programming from the sick society. Now that you have received this information that there is no distinction between matter and force, between mind and body, it's time to rewrite the programs that are present in the subconscious mind and change your status of mental health. It's time to gain absolute freedom from panic attacks. Now, your friends and family are going to stop worrying about you. Instead, they are going to ask you questions like, John, How did you manage to become so relaxed and peaceful so fast? If your girlfriend left you for another guy and she insulted you for saying that you're not an impressive guy at all, now is your time. Now is the time to get back at her. She will start to say to her friends, "Oh my god, he has finally become the man of my dreams." And the sad part is now he is out of my league. Of course, this is a thing of vanity, but even if you want that, you can achieve this if you simply learn how to write new programs in your mind. And writing new program in your mind means changing the state of your mind. What you must understand is mind has two components. One is mental imagery or thoughts, the other is feelings. If you can properly combine thoughts and feelings in a very positive way, then you have written new positive programs in your subconscious mind. And the first step of changing the program in your subconscious mind, in order to change your physical body's health, in order to completely get rid of panic attacks, is through Yoga Nidra. People like Dr. Andrew Huberman have been calling Yoga Nidra as non-sleep deep rest protocol. But it is just a yogic sleep. We Nepali people have been knowing this form of relaxation, this form of connecting with our own spirit since thousands of years. And it's very simple. You just close your eyes, you sit still, and you just rotate your awareness all over your body until you achieve a state of sleepiness or relaxation. And don't worry if you think that you cannot sit still, because I was like that when I started out as well. When I had panic attack while I was training to become a doctor in a medical school in Nepal, I decided to not go to therapy or buy anxiety pills because I knew that they were not going to treat the root cause. I had a reputation to protect. I had a future to build. So I don't know why, but I just felt like I had to understand spirituality. I had to study more about consciousness, about power of human mind. So I studied a lot of spiritual mentors from the East. I studied a lot of manifestation experts from the West like Neville Goddard, Joe Dispenza. And then I just decided that it's time to change myself. And I started out by doing Yoga Nidra. It's a beautiful yogic practice. And by the way, I healed my panic attacks in just 5 months. You can heal it faster if you can just sit still for 1 minute. Because at first I could not even do that. So if you can sit still for 1 minute, you are already doing better than I was. Now, after you do Yoga Nidra, what you're going to notice is you achieve a state of relaxation, and that is the moment where you're connected to the divinity that is present within you, to the spirit that is present within you. Because I've already told you, this entire existence is spiritual. You are a manifestation of that spirit or source energy. So you can find everything that you want within yourself. You do not have to hustle, compete, struggle into this outside world in order to get health, wealth, love, happiness, freedom from panic attacks. All of them lie inside of you if you know how to connect with that source energy. When you do Yoga Nidra, now your brain can visualize very easily, and all of those visualizations will go right into your subconscious mind. Because your brain is going to produce theta waves in Yoga Nidra. And theta waves, I've already told you, makes you very suggestible. You'll be able to accept, believe, and surrender to your imaginal act as if they are the truth. So what you're going to imagine after you do Yoga Nidra is you're going to imagine you're already free from panic attacks and you're now living a life which is wonderful. For example, you are going to imagine that you're walking into a room that previously triggered your panic attack, but now you're taking charge of that room, you're cracking jokes, you have your friends and family in that room, all of them are complimenting you on how you're so peaceful and so relaxed. You're going to provide all the sensory vividness to your imaginal act so that you can trick your brain into believing that all this imaginal act is actually happening to you in real time. For example, if you're currently not dating a girl, start to date a girl in your imaginal act. start to touch her hair, start to smell her perfume, start to kiss her, start to hear her compliment you on how powerful, on how peaceful you are. When you do these things in your imaginal act, you are going to derive feelings from them, feelings of joy, feelings of gratitude, feelings of empowerment, feelings of confidence. Because, of course, in your imaginal act, all the wonderful things are happening to you. You're waking up with in the morning in your imaginal act with a big smile on your face. Of course, you're going to feel happy and grateful. Now, your job is to be able to sustain these elevated emotions for a long period of time. Because the longer you can hold on to these emotions, the faster whatever you have visualized will actually materialize into existence. Whatever you visualize, all this imaginal act is sending an electrical charge to the source energy. Now the source energy knows what you want. And the feelings that you embrace from this imaginal act sends a magnetic charge to the source energy. Now the source knows what you want and it is compelled to give what you want. Now you become a magnet for all the wonderful life circumstances. All the terrible life circumstances that you are currently facing right now will start to just fall off of your life and you will become a magnet for amazing experiences in your life. This is what synchronicity means. So, do yoga nidra, start to imagine that wonderful things are happening to you. Mentally rehearse this imaginal act. Feel the feelings from your imaginal act and change your life. Because you are actually changing your mind. You're actually changing the force. You're actually changing the energetic field through all of these meditative processes. And when there is a change in the energetic field, matter must change. Your physical body must change. Now, if you want one-to-one online personalized coaching from me, then message me on my Gmail or my WhatsApp, which are linked in the description box down below and also the pinned comment section down below. Subscribe and I will see you in the next video.